Most men chase. They talk too much. They text too quickly. They explain themselves constantly. And in doing so, they kill the very thing that creates attraction. Mystery, self-control, presence. Stoic masculinity teaches us something different. It teaches us to move with calm authority, to speak less, to lead more, to let women feel our absence, not our desperation. If you want to attract a woman who's not initially interested, you don't need tricks. You need discipline. You need silence where others beg. And you need power that doesn't scream. It resonates. Let me show you the Stoic path to becoming the kind of man she can't ignore. Let's begin where most men fail. They give too much, too soon. Too much time, too much attention, too much availability. And so, we start with the first principle of attraction. 1. Stop being always available. Value your time. A high-value man doesn't chase. He chooses. And one of the first things he chooses is how he spends his time. When you're always there, always texting back, always free to talk or meet, you might think you're showing interest. But what she sees is something else entirely. A man with no mission, no direction, and no backbone. Women don't crave what's always present. They crave what feels rare, what feels earned. Your constant availability removes any sense of mystery. And mystery is the soil in which attraction grows. So stop giving her your time so easily. Stop responding within seconds. Stop rearranging your life for someone who hasn't even chosen you yet. The Stoic man knows this. His attention is a gift, not a default setting. He's not rude, he's intentional. He has a life that moves with or without her, and that life is built on priorities, not impulses. You don't need to ignore her. You simply need to choose when and how you engage. Speak when it matters. Respond when you have something of value to say. Never speak just to fill silence, because the man who values his time is the man she learns to value. Pull back, not to manipulate, but to reset the scale. Let her feel the distance. Let her ask the question, why isn't he chasing me? That's when she starts to notice you, not for what you give, but for what you withhold with purpose. 2. Embrace mystery. Let her wonder. The moment you become predictable is the moment she stops feeling anything. Mystery is a manipulation. It's restraint. It's depth. It's leaving room for her imagination. Most men reveal too much, too fast. They pour out their emotions, their stories, their dreams, all in the first few conversations. They think it builds connection. But what it really does is remove all curiosity. A Stoic man understands this. Curiosity is the engine of desire. If she already knows everything about you, there's nothing left to uncover. And when there's nothing left to uncover, there's nothing left to feel excited about. Keep parts of yourself reserved, not because you're hiding anything, but because you understand that attention is more powerful in pieces than in bulk. When she asks about your past, give a glimpse, not a biography. When she wonders what you do, be vague but intriguing. Say, I do a few things that keep life interesting. Let her mind wander. Let her wonder. And most importantly, never over-explain. She doesn't need to know where you are every minute. She doesn't need to hear a justification for every decision. That's not leadership. That's submission. Instead, be brief. Be clear. Be confident. When you're hard to fully understand, you become hard to forget. She won't text her friends about the guy who overshared. She'll text about the one who left her thinking all night. And the more space you leave for her curiosity to breathe, the more room there is for attraction to grow. A man who holds something back holds the upper hand, not because he's playing games, but because he knows his value isn't in what he reveals. It's in what he protects. 3. Master your emotions. Be unshakable. No matter how good you look or how smooth you talk, if you lack emotional control, you will lose the game before it even begins. Women don't fall for men who are reactive. They fall for men who remain composed. When she tests your patience, when she pulls away, when she plays hot and cold, most men panic. They overthink. They double text. They start explaining themselves. And worse, they start chasing. That's not attraction. That's emotional instability. A Stoic man never chases. He adjusts his posture, not his principles. He doesn't let emotions dictate his moves. If she pulls back, he doesn't fill the space with noise. He fills it with stillness. If she delays responding, he doesn't spiral. He goes back to his mission, to his purpose, to his life. Because nothing is more magnetic than a man who doesn't flinch under pressure. A man who can smile when being tested, who can walk away when disrespected, who doesn't beg for clarity. Because he already has clarity within, emotional control doesn't mean suppression. It means ownership. It means you feel the frustration and choose not to act out of it. A man who masters this doesn't just attract women. He commands respect. You become someone she can lean on when she's uncertain. You become someone she trusts, even when she's unsure of herself. And most of all, you become someone she can't manipulate. When you can't be pushed, pulled, or provoked, you rise above the noise of every other man. You become a force of calm in a world of chaos. And that, brother, is irresistible. For lead, don't chase, set the frame, or be framed. A man who chases is a man who is already lost. He puts her on a pedestal. He waits for signs. He asks for permission. But attraction doesn't come from begging for validation. It comes from owning the moment. It comes from taking the lead and letting her choose to follow. Stoic masculinity teaches us, if you're not setting the direction, you're surrendering to hers. Most men default to passive energy. They hesitate, overanalyze, and then follow her lead in texting, in plans, in tone. They become a mirror, not a man. The high-value man sets the frame. He initiates. He decides where, when, and how, not because he needs control, but because he moves with certainty. He doesn't ask, "What do you want to do?" He says, "I'm going here, you're welcome to join." He's not rude, but he is direct. He doesn't force, he invites. And if she declines, he doesn't chase. He simply walks. Because he understands this core truth. You can't lead someone who doesn't want to be led. Leadership is not loud. It's not aggressive. It's a quiet confidence of knowing where you're going, with or without her. When you lead with purpose, women feel it. They sense they're stepping into a man's world, not dragging him into theirs. And that shift in energy changes everything. Suddenly, you're not competing. You're not convincing. You're not proving. You're building. You're moving. You're inviting. If she sees the value, she'll join. If not, you'll keep going. And that alone makes her rethink. Because women don't chase men who are standing still. They chase the man who's already in motion. So led, not to impress her, but to express who you are. And if she's truly aligned with that path, she will follow. If not, let her go. You've got somewhere to be. 5. Build an undeniable presence. Let the room feel you before you speak. There's something about a man who walks into a room and doesn't say a word, yet everyone feels his presence. He's not loud. He's not seeking attention. He's simply grounded. And in that grounding, there's weight. There's silence. There's power. Women notice that. They feel it before they even understand it. Presence isn't about how many stories you tell or how many jokes you crack. It's about how solid you are when you say nothing at all. A Stoic man knows that the energy he brings speaks louder than his words ever will. He's calm in a world that's anxious. He's composed in moments of chaos. And because of that, people gravitate toward him. Want to build presence? Start with how you carry yourself. Stand tall, shoulders back, chin level, not with arrogance, but with assurance. When you walk, walk like you've got purpose. When you sit, sit like you belong, not like you're waiting to be accepted. And when you speak, slow it down. Speak with clarity, with intention, with silence between your words. Let people lean in. Let her lean in. Because the more stillness you command, the more curiosity you create. Most men fidget. Most men chase approval in their tone, in their gestures, in their need to fill every silence. But you don't fill silence. You become the silence she remembers. Your presence is also built when you're not in the room. It's in the way she thinks about you after you've left. It's the memory of your calm, the feel of your energy, the echo of your certainty. So stop trying to impress. Start standing still. Because when you no longer beg to be seen, she won't be able to look away. Part 6. Live a life bigger than her. Make her want to enter your world. Most men make this mistake. They make her the center of their world, hoping she'll stay. But in doing so, they give up the very gravity that drew her in. A Stoic man doesn't orbit her. He builds a world so full of purpose, movement, and direction that she wants to be part of it. Not because he asked, but because she felt the pull. Women are not attracted to men who wait. They're attracted to men who move. Men with vision. Men who don't pause their growth to win someone's affection. Your purpose is the fuel of your presence. It gives your energy weight. It shapes how you speak, how you walk, how you decide. When your life is full, with goals, with standards, with passions, she will feel the difference. She will notice that you're not trying to fill a void with her. You're already full. You're already lit. That's where desire begins. Not in desperation, but in overflow. Too many men make their schedule depend on her availability. They drop everything. They wait by the phone. They seek her as if she's the only thing that matters. But the Stoic man is different. He has places to be. He has people to impact. He has missions to pursue. And when she sees that he's not just talking about his purpose, he's living it, she feels the contrast. She realizes that to be with him is to join the movement, not to lead it. So build that life. Build it without apology. Build it whether she's watching or not. Because the man who needs nothing from her is the man she starts wanting everything from. Not because he chased her, but because he became someone worth following. 7. Be still, be rare, be chosen, the final frame. Attraction doesn't begin with effort. It begins with energy. And the most powerful energy a man can carry is this: I'm enough, even if she never chooses me. When you stop needing a woman to validate your worth, she starts to notice you in a different light. Most men try to earn her attention by giving more. More texts, more compliments, more availability. But the Stoic man understands. What's rare is respected. What's constant is ignored. So he doesn't flood her with energy. He lets the silence do its job. He becomes a man she has to think about, because he's not constantly in her face. Be still, not as a tactic, but as a truth. A man who is still is a man who knows he doesn't have to move for others to feel him. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to convince her. You don't need to be picked. You only need to become so full, so grounded, so centered that her absence doesn't shake you and her presence doesn't define you. Stillness is not passivity. It's presence without performance. It's motionless confidence. It's the kind of energy that lingers long after you've walked away. So next time she doesn't reply, don't reach, don't chase, don't explain. Let her feel the loss of your silence. Let her wonder if she misread you. Let her initiate the next move, because you weren't waiting. You were just standing still, and she was the one who moved. In the end, that's the essence of Stoic attraction. You stop trying to win her, and you start becoming someone. She has no choice but to notice. Become the man she can't ignore, not because you chased, but because you chose yourself. This isn't about playing games. It's about playing a long game, with your values, your energy, and your presence. If you've made it this far, understand this. You don't win her over by giving more. You win by becoming more. More grounded, more focused, more sovereign. She may come, she may go, but the man who walks in alignment with his purpose never loses himself. Let her feel the difference. Let her experience the contrast. Let her be the one to realize you're not like the rest, because you weren't performing. You were becoming. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, share it with a brother who needs to hear it. And remember, don't chase, don't impress, just become undeniable. Until next time, walk with calm, lead with purpose, and let your silence do the talking.